Welcome. Demons will use your negative thinking in order to steal you of your life juice. You see, like a sleazy salesman, they know all of your pain points. They know all of the words to get you to react. They poke at your wounds and they use the ones you love against you. And what you'll find is that all of the negative thoughts, they always involve fear. Fear of death, fear of pain, fear of losing somebody you love. And they will use whatever tactics to get you to buy into this story. But the story means absolutely nothing until you believe in it. The salesman can't sell you anything unless you buy it. As it's often been said, things are not heavy unless you pick them up. And so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is that we are the ones that are burdening ourselves with this negativity because we allow the fear in, like a vampire that can't enter your home unless you welcome it. And once the vampire is in, it gets you and it starts stealing all of your life, drinks your blood. But the good news is that we have all the power. It's just that we have been giving our power away to these negative forces. And so what happens is you give your power away to these negative thoughts. The negative thoughts get stronger from your own power. And you get weaker. And so you become small and they become big. So you have to reverse the roles. Do not allow yourself to stay a victim or a slave to the mind. Because these negative forces have to work in illusion. They have no substance, so they have to trick you into believing in them. Just like the whole system, the whole matrix, it is all an illusion, only held up by the belief of the masses. And the moment the masses take their belief away, the system can no longer feed off of them. Once the people realize that they are already free, they can never be enslaved again. But so long as we believe in the illusion, we will always be a slave. This is the greatest enemy. This is the source of all suffering and pain in the world. It is only when we are living in darkness, in unconsciousness, does the force of evil have any power over us, because we are in their territory. But once you grow closer to the light, what can the darkness do to get you, to reach you? Where the light is, the dark is not. You do not have to fight the darkness. All you have to do is turn on the lights. And what this means is that you take your focus and attention away from things that are negative. And this begins by valuing your energy. Because when you value your energy, when you value yourself, you won't give your time and attention to things that don't deserve it. You refuse to let the fear in. Unless the fear gets in, what can be done to you? Nothing. And so the ultimate source of light is consciousness, is God within you. And the moment you begin connecting to this source more and more, fear will simply drop away. Because what can you fear in the presence of God? What doubts can you have? It is only when we feel alone do we feel vulnerable. But God is everywhere always, which means God can never be separated from you, which means you are already one with God. And so imagine you go through life not alone, but with the ultimate source of creation with you every moment. Would there be anything that you could not achieve? Would there be any obstacle in your way that you could not overcome? All your problems would be just wiped away because you would realize that you are not the one that has to deal with them. But it is only when we become separated from this light within us do we place these burdens upon ourselves. When we are separated from the light, we live in darkness. And when we act in unconsciousness, we create suffering in the world and in ourselves. And so the cure is the opposite of this. The opposite of unconsciousness is awareness. And so here's the conundrum that most people are in. That is, we are already at one with awareness, with consciousness, but we are blind to it. Because in order to experience something, there needs to be separation. Because we are already one, we cannot experience ourselves directly. We cannot see ourselves directly. But what do we see? We see the mind. So what we've done is that we've attached our awareness to the mind, and we've created an identity out of it. And so rather than experiencing oneness with our true state of being, we experience oneness with the mind. And now all the thoughts, all of the world has jurisdiction over us. Now we feel like we can be hurt. Now we experience suffering. So when we have a negative thought, we become one with the negative thought. And its negativity rubs all over us. And that's gross. And this is because we have become separated from our true state of being and have become one with the illusion of separation created by the mind. So we are living in darkness, we are living in unconsciousness, and the cure is to take our identity away from the mind, away from the body, and return back to unity in our true place as consciousness. And we do this simply by observing, because awareness is like the function of consciousness. So the more we can remain as awareness, the more we become one with consciousness. Simply put, if you have a negative thought, or any negative situation, or any negative experience, the moment you observe that experience, you automatically create space in between you and the thought or the experience. Because in order to experience something, you need an object of experience and a subject to experience that object. So this space, which is your safe space, protects you from all negative thoughts and even from negative experiences. That is like the armor of God that prevents the fear from being allowed in. But the moment you close that gap and return to identification with the mind, now all the fear, all the negativity feels like it can hurt you, it can affect you. That is how we allow the demons in. It is through our identification and our belief in them. We create a story in our minds and get lost in the story. And so you see, it is never the experience itself that creates the suffering, but our reaction to it. Because we are not actually experiencing reality as we believe we are. We do not see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Because we are projecting our inner reality out onto the world. And that is what we are experiencing. We are experiencing ourselves. And the quality of yourself will determine the quality of your experience. But it is not the quality of yourself, but it is the quality of who you believe yourself to be. The illusion. And the illusion will always create suffering. So practice the art of observing and create separation between you, your true self, and all of your experiences. Slowly but surely, you will begin retaining your energy and taking it away from all of the things that have been draining you. You will become more powerful, and the light within you will shine greater.